Hi everyone, it's Mwelwa Kenneth and today I'm doing an event coverage for Zambeef, who are a PLC company that is listed on the Lusaka Stock Exchange. Today is a special day because the company celebrates its 30th anniversary, and at this particular AGM, the chairman of the corporation, alongside with the CEO and the chief financial officer, will be presenting not only the final year results, but all key issues that are pertinent to key stakeholders. So stay tuned for the insights that will come from this particular event on this special episode on behalf of Zambeef. Hello everyone and welcome to another exclusive episode of the Financial Insight Show. My name is Mwelwa Kenneth and I'm right here at Sarovar Hotel in Lusaka, Zambia on the 30th day of December. We're just a few days before New Year's, and we've just been witnessing something very special. Today obviously marks the 30th anniversary for Zambeef, and with me is none other than the new board chair, who was obviously confirmed today at the AGM, who is going to tell me a little bit about today's proceedings. Board Chair, how are you?
Very well. Thank you very much for having me.
And thank you so much for joining us. So, for those that don't know you, this is the first time we're obviously interviewing you on the Financial Insight Show. Are you able to just tell us a little bit about yourself and obviously your role at Zambeef?
Yeah, so I joined Zambeef in June this year when I was appointed to join the board. Before that, I used to be the board chairman for Zambia National Commercial Bank. So I'm very happy to join Zambeef, one of the biggest institutions in Zambia. Looking forward to better things to happen in Zambeef.
Absolutely, and obviously congratulations yet again. But you obviously take over as board chair at a very significant point and milestone for the corporation. Are you able to tell us, about just your general feeling of, how the company has evolved over the last 30 years?
Yeah, so Zambeef has actually grown significantly in the last 30 years. It has evolved from a private individual company to a public limited company. And we have also seen that Zambeef has played a very significant role in the provision of food to Zambia as a nation. So we will continue to be one of the biggest suppliers of pork, meat, chickens in the Zambian market. So, and also Zambeef extended its operations as well outside Zambia, currently operating in Nigeria as well as in Ghana. So yes, Zambeef is going to remain a very important piece of Zambia's economy going forward.
Absolutely, and obviously at year 30, after you're taking over, we've now just obviously heard how the company has actually performed. Are you satisfied with the performance, obviously in your 30th year? And just give us just some key takeaways that you take from this year and this performance.
Yeah. So Zambeef has been going through an expansion program, which is a 5-year, $100 million program that we started in 2022. And it has continued to make the company grow into a multinational company, so to speak. I would like to say that in terms of performance, the company continues to be very profitable. And we have seen that despite the challenges in the economy, the profit for this year has equally been very good in kwacha terms. But when we convert to dollars, the profit has remained relatively stagnant. But we are hoping that with some of the initiatives that we've put in place in terms of expansion, in terms of new products, we should be able to start growing even much more in next year. But we still have some work to do. There's a lot of work that is ongoing right now in Zambeef, which we need to continue pushing to close so that we can start now realizing the benefits that we want to achieve. So yes, I think there's been a lot of headwinds as well in the performance for this year. As you know, the electricity has been a challenge. The drought has equally been a challenge. So all these things put together have actually made the performance a little bit stagnant in terms of dollar performance. But we are hopeful that the measures we've put in place, they'll be able to resolve these issues going forward.
Absolutely. And speaking of measures, obviously we do understand you've got certain hopes and aspirations for 2025. Are you able to just share with us what your desires to see in terms of the company's growth trajectory going forward, post 30 years?
I think we've got a very good strategy to grow the company in the next 5 years. We will see definitely that Zambeef is going to grow even 2, 3, 4 times than what it is now. Our focus as a board is to make sure that we deliver on our promise, 1, to our customers, and 2, to our shareholders. So we will continue to provide that leadership to achieve the objectives that we've set ourselves and make sure that at the end of the day we remain competitive and also grow as a business in terms of shareholder value, as well as providing our customers with new and interesting products. So that is our ambition.
Absolutely. No, Board Chair, thank you so much for speaking to us, and we wish you well and happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much again.
Hello everyone, it's Mwelwa again, and I'm still on the sidelines of the annual general meeting for Zambeef on their 30th anniversary, and I'll be speaking now to the official auditors of Zambeef to just talk a little bit about the agribusiness sector. Andrew Chibuye, it's always a pleasure again.
Thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely. And obviously, at the end of the year, you've had a lot of key observations, on various businesses. But obviously, today we're talking agribusiness. What would you say have been some of the key issues that you've observed that have impacted agribusiness in 2024?
Agribusiness, without a doubt, the climate issues, right? So the adverse rainfall patterns has directly affected agribusiness. So obviously that then leading to challenges in terms of output. I think nobody has been spared in that regard. Linked to the situation that we have around rainfall is also electricity. So it's been like a double whammy for the sector, because on one hand, rain which you need for your agricultural produce has been subdued. Then on top of that, the power that you need, even when you're doing things like irrigation, has also been challenged. So it's been a very difficult year for agribusiness. and that is definitely something that is quite notable. So those two, the largest, and then obviously the knock-on effects from there, is from impacts on yields, impacts on cost, in order to try and mitigate the energy crisis, as an example. And then added to that is the disease risk that has also been exacerbated. Most people don't know is that when you don't have very good rains and your pastures are dry and not what they should be, that you actually encourage, or those are conditions that encourage certain diseases as well. So it's been a very difficult year for agribusiness, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Now, we've observed that some businesses have opted now to make investments now, say in R&D, etc. In short, what do you see as some of the key success factors under very difficult situations? Should companies be investing more in R&D or technology as a whole in order to survive through these difficult conditions?
I think that especially for agribusiness, some of what's needed is fairly basic, right? Because if you've got a cropping division, if you've got livestock in great number, what you need is pasture. What you need is water, right? If you don't have irrigation, as an example, then your situation is going to be a lot more dire, right? So what sort of infrastructure do you have there? So that's very important. Around R&D, definitely, I mean, issues like investing in your disease prevention, investing in crops that are more resilient to climate change, are also quite fundamental to secure your ongoing survival. So definitely very important to keep adapting and moving.
Absolutely. And, obviously, just on a final note, on issues of sustainability, from your observation, would you say that, in terms of sustainability, entities need to obviously, that are in the agri sector, need to continue, informing their key stakeholders in terms of what they're doing in order to ensure that businesses are sustainable going forward?
Without a doubt. I mean, if there's a sector that is significantly affected by climate change and adverse weather events, it's agribusiness, and it's actually something that they've grappled with or contended with for a lot longer than most other sectors have. So being proactive in terms of how they're responding to the challenges that arise, and definitely carrying stakeholders, shareholders, all interested parties along, very important to ensure that they operate sustainably.
Absolutely. Maybe on a final note now, 2025, what are your key observations that, we obviously need to keep an eye out? We do know that, you have a lot of commentary that will obviously be coming in 2025, but what will be, some of your key main focus areas that will need to be looked at?
Yeah, so I think there's stuff on either side of the equation, if I can use that term, in terms of positives and negatives. We start the year, from a negative perspective, the rain seems a lot lower than would have wanted, so that will continue to cause challenges from a food security perspective as well as an energy perspective, so that goes without saying. I'm hoping that at least we have sufficient rain to alleviate say food, because energy, I think, is longer term, but also what's happening with energy is with time we're sort of adapting and making alternative plans. So hopefully if we make progress with alternative power supply, whether it's within the region or other sources that at least provide stable power, I think that would be a positive, but I think we start obviously on a bit of a back foot. On the positive, there's a lot of investment that's coming into Zambia, and some of it has to start paying dividends at some point. A lot in the mining sector, some in the manufacturing sector, notwithstanding the issues that we have from a power perspective. At some point it's going to show. So I think that's definitely a positive. At the end of it all, though, the citizens are obviously having a difficult time. We've seen inflation is up and will continue to be elevated for a while. So we will need to remain a resilient society to make it through 2025. I'm hopeful, though, that 2025, although I predict it to be challenging, will be better than 2024.
Absolutely. No, Andrew, thank you so much for speaking to us, and we look forward to engaging with you in 2025.
Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone, and we're still on the sidelines, and we're about to have an interesting conversation with our good friend from Zambeef, Mrs. Ezekiel, who's going to tell us a little bit about how 2024 has actually been. Mrs. Ezekiel, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Mwelwa, and compliments of the season to you and FIZ.
Compliments of the season to you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So now, Mr. Ezekiel, 2024 was obviously a very, very interesting year for the company. It'll be interesting for our viewers to just get to know from your perspective how the year has actually been in terms of, any key developments from Zambeef.
A great year it has been 2024. Certainly when we started first quarter, we started strong. Getting into quarter 4 of 2024, we ended strong. However, as we went to the end of 2024 first quarter, there was an outbreak of anthrax in some parts of the country. But as you know, Zambeef were very strong when it comes to issues of animal health. So we did the very best. We had to engage our key stakeholders. However, because of the outbreak of the livestock disease, we saw a decline, a reduction in the beef cattle that was supplied to the business. Certainly, that impacted on us getting into quarter 2 of 2024. However, with the relaxation and the allowance of the movement of animals by the government in quarter 2, we saw recovery and a very strong ending in quarter 4 and quarter 3. However, being a company we are, board management of Zambeef, very resilient team, very innovative, we saw growth in the midst of adversity. We stood up to the many challenges, be it in the energy sector, we had to innovate, be it in the water sector of our business, we had to look at ways and means to work around those challenges. And with that, we saw a number of projects being rolled out in the business, particularly in the poultry division, the environmentally controlled houses, progressing on that front. We also saw significant work being done on the Mpongwe wheat flour mill, whose commission was done later in the year. So all around, a very successful year, but certainly with a number of challenges. But again, the challenges that we faced in the course of the year, those are the challenges that made us strong, because there is so much teamwork at Zambeef. We work as a team. We engage within and beyond. So all in all, a year that was grounded on growth, a year that saw so much resilience within the team, a year that saw adaptability. We had to adapt, we had to change to the course. And here we are, very strong results, I must say. Very strong double-digit, top-line growth, double-digit at the revenue line of 20%. When you go to the gross profit, again, comparing 2024 to 2023, a very strong double-digit growth at the gross profit line of over 30%. And when you run down through the income statement, again, over 30% growth in kwacha terms at net operating income. But again, when you look at these results in kwacha terms, very solid results. But obviously, on the other side, on the US dollar side, when we convert, we are more or less in line with last year. And this was as a result of the depreciation of the currency, which we saw during the course of the year. But again, all in all, it's a balanced position, a very balanced and strong position, I must say.
Absolutely. And, it's interesting that you should mention, bringing, different entities together, because one of the key observations we've made is some of the strategic partners that you've had over the years. This year, obviously, being significant, we noticed, especially with launches at Mbongwe, you attracted several, corporates. How important has having strategic partnerships been for the success of Zambeef?
Yeah, as Zambeef, we believe in partnership. We realize that success does not occur to one organization or individual. Success comes in through partnerships, and we do respect all partners. And the key partner, strategic partner, first, our employees. Our employees are our strategic partners. There is nothing that we can achieve without our strategic partners, internal partners, that's our employees. Externally as well, the number of key stakeholders, all key stakeholders, our customers, our consumers, the people who consume and enjoy our sumptuous products, the meals, as we begin from farm to factory to fork to family. And at each stage of the value chain, Zambeef is there. So at the end of it all, our consumers, we want to say thank you to them, because they're the people who make us be where we are in these offices we operate, because they buy our products, and we say thank you to them. Our customers as well, our suppliers who've been supplying into Zambeef. The government, central government, decentralized governance systems, as the councils, working with them. Despite the challenges that are there, we believe that working as a team, we shall conquer. Beyond that, the number of other stakeholders we've been working with, the union, both internal and external, all these key stakeholders, they've really helped Zambeef be where we are today, and we'll continue working with them. The media, you colleagues in the media, without you, there is no way that we can communicate that which we do. So we want to say thank you to you colleagues. And it's because of working together with all these different stakeholders, we've been able to deliver year-on-year solid growth in kwacha terms. But also, despite the challenging environment, even in US dollar terms, yes, we've more or less maintained our performance in the midst of challenging environment. But we know Rome was not built in a day. It requires us to continue to work hard as a people, to work together and doing the best for people. We have so many vulnerable yet viable people in our communities, but those people, they are wonderful people. I've seen them, I've been in these communities. They're such good people there, working with them, giving them confidence, and ensuring that they supply into us as we buy from them, rather than just handouts. And it's just so wonderful to see how everyone can contribute to the table. And I think that Zambeef is one of those companies that tells a story in each sector, be it from cropping, farming, maize, soya, wheat, to adding value, to distribution. We're talking just under 300 owned trucks within Zambeef. Then from there we go into the retail space. Again, we're talking just under 300 retail outlets in Zambia and in West Africa. All this is because of working as a team and respecting one another, caring for one another, ensuring that trust is there. Trust is earned, but by what we do when no one is seeing us what we do. But at the end of the day as well, being responsible for that which we do, also being responsible for the decisions we do take, be responsible for issues pertaining to the environment. And you've seen, like I earlier on said, the first half, the first quarter, with the challenges that we saw, particularly in the animal health space, we stood up and worked with everyone. And much as we were not directly impacted within Zambeef in terms of the animals that we were, that we kept or maintained the stock at the time because of our stringent biosecurity measures. However, we don't operate in a vacuum. The external environment in Southern Province, in parts of Southern Province, we know what happened from an animal health perspective. But commending the government through the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock, they did wonderful work in terms of providing vaccinating the animals. And we've seen, as we came to the end of the year, what that did to the overall population of the animals in those affected areas. The outbreak of anthrax, or even the risk, has been significantly reduced. There were pockets of reported anthrax on the side of the wild animals, not the livestock. And we want to say thank you to the government. We want to say thank you to the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock, Honorable Chikote Makozo, and now Honorable Peter Kapala, working with the PS engineer Himba Chelo, with the DVS Dr. Charles Makesa, and the team at Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock, but beyond that as well, Ministry of Agriculture and many other ministries.
Absolutely. And, on a final note, Zambeef is part of a community. The company has grown over the last 30 years, and now it extends to all corners of the country. In terms of being community-based and the impact you've had, what are just some of the few initiatives that the company has obviously, initiated and executed that resonate to you, especially as you clock 30 years?
Yes, 30 years of growth. 30 years of sustained growth, 30 years of community impact. As we grow, we believe that we need to continue to impact positively in the communities, in the areas in which the business operates. And we have a 5-strategy plan when we come to issues pertaining to the community. We have one pillar where we look at issues of health and sanitation. We have another pillar where we look at issues of education. Education is very important. We do have our own schools, starting from preschool, primary and secondary level. In the areas where we do operate, we talk about Impongwe, but also in some of the areas the company builds schools and then hand it over to the government. Here I'm speaking to Chisamba and Chongwe. That's on education. We also have another pillar of entrepreneurship and conservation. We believe that prosperity can be shared. We want to share prosperity, and you can only share prosperity as you lift your brothers and sisters on the way, pulling these on the way. And we have a number of micro, small scale suppliers that we work with in each category, in each value chain of the business, be it on the livestock side, be it on the crop side, and that's on the entrepreneurship and conservation. There's another pillar where we focus on culture and heritage. This is where now we begin to speak to the support that Zambeef renders to our traditional leaders through the traditional ceremonies that are held across the country where we do operate. That is, we want to continue to embrace our culture, support the foundation where we all came from. Heritage, we need to maintain jealously our heritage. We need to protect, defend, promote, enhance culture. So in that space, in that area, Zambeef is very strong. So through that, those are 4. And then finally, the feeding program. We believe that as a business of food and beverage, certainly it's our responsibility to contribute and to feed and nourish our people, our brothers and sisters in selected areas. So all in all, it's been a wonderful year, a year where we've seen growth despite the challenges. And I think that at Zambeef, the challenges that we face as a company, as a people, these are what make us to be strong and to go to the office to say, how can I contribute? So that the company grows, and when the company grows, we can only then do more to help the community, because we need to make a profit, and when we make a profit, from those profits, then we can do a little bit more for those communities in which we operate. And I'm quite excited, particularly this year in the area of education. Like I earlier on said, we have our own schools, but beyond that, we're also supporting schools. For example, in Mpongwe, a school near our farm, Chawamas Community School. I'll invite you, my brother, to see what we've done there, putting up roofing sheets, renovating the whole school, providing them with a borehole at that school. And initially that school, actually, it was a year or two ago, it was damaged by the previous year's rainfall. Just the roofing sheets were all, taken off from the classrooms. And we had to make some repairs, and we should be finishing as we get in the early part of the next financial year. So all in all, a good year, a strong year, a year of growth, and coming on the back of a very resilient team, a team that has adapted, a team that is highly innovative, a team that has been working together not only within but beyond the business. And all we can say, thank you so very much. Compliments of the season, and get to know.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So there you have it, folks. You've heard for yourself from Mr. Ezekiel, our good friend at Zambeef. So stay tuned for more insights in the coming year as we continue to cover Zambeef and all its innovative exploits as they continue to feed the nation. And there you have it, folks. We have been interviewing very interesting personalities on the sidelines of the annual general meeting. You saw and heard for yourselves what the chairman of Zambeef had to say. We also had an opportunity to speak to Andrew Chibuye, whose PwC Zambia company is the one responsible for looking after the financials. And we also spoke to Mr. Ezekiel Sekele, who is head of brand and communication. So for myself, Mwelwa Kenneth Chibesakunda, Financial Insight, thank you so much for watching this special episode. This apparently is now our final event coverage for 2024. We look forward to seeing you in 2025 when we continue to bring you more insights from different businesses across Zambia and across the world. So stay tuned for more insights in 2025 and get to know.